All right, what's happening, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. I am super pumped about today's live session we're going to be doing here together. We're going to be going over some really exciting things here. Most of all, it's how to grow a cash buyer list insanely fast, where to find the buyers, and just where you can go to move your deals very quickly. So again, today we're going to be covering unlock the secret to finding cash buyers fast. So we're going to be covering, what most wholesalers do wrong, why they can't sell their deals, and why the traditional wholesale model is broken and how to fix it. So I'm going to go through all that here. So let me go ahead and post here in the group really quick, just to make sure everyone sees this and knows where to go for the stream, and we'll get rocking and rolling, guys. And hey, by the way, while we're waiting here, go ahead and comment where you're watching from. I always love to see where people are watching from when we're connecting here from all over the country. So let me go ahead and just share this post right here. Give me 1 minute, and we will kick this thing off. Super excited to be here today and to get rocking and rolling here. Let's see. Everyone, we are live. Okay, we are live. Boom. All right, cool. All right, got that out of the way. We're posted. Fantastic. I love it. Hey, and before we get started here, on top of posting where you guys are watching from, I'd love for you guys to post your most common problems when it comes to finding cash buyers for your deal. So go ahead and comment that. Again, comment where you're watching from. I'd love to see that. And we'll get rocking and rolling here. Just waiting for some more people to come on. And we'll make this thing happen. One of the biggest things I see with wholesalers is, again, they do wholesaling the wrong way. And we're going to share with you again here in the live stream today how to fix that and to make sure that you're not doing it the wrong way. And so that way you don't struggle when you're trying to get your first deal done. I've seen too many people. I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, and they're like, Chris, because I'll ask them, where are you at in your real estate journey? And they'll say, well, Chris, I've put a few deals under contract. Actually, I put 3 deals under contract, and all 3 of them fell through. And I'm like, what? You're so close. Like, what happened? And they share with me these situations that happen. And do you guys know that these situations are very, very simple? Maybe it's the fact that I've been doing it for 10 years. I've done over 600 deals. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But the thing is that these situations are very simple to overcome. And when they tell me what's going on, do you guys know what the number one reason for dropping a wholesale deal typically is? If you look at across, a whole bunch of people just getting started in their first 2 years, and that is not being able to find a buyer, or having a buyer drop out and then not being able to replace them quickly. So we're going to dive into all that, and we're going to show you how to do that here today. So go ahead. And again, I thrive off engagement, guys. Go ahead and drop in the comments where you're watching from, and we'll kind of kick this thing off now. Cool. Seeing people come on. Good stuff. Love it. All right. So let's dive in and talk about the main struggles that people face when wholesaling, right? So one of the biggest issues that people have when wholesaling houses, they take all this time, they put it into finding sellers, and they're told the myth that if you find a good deal, it'll sell itself. But here's the thing. Most wholesalers, when they first start out, they don't even know what a good deal looks like. So how can it sell itself, right? So that brings us to our FYBF method, right? This method right here is going to fix 99% of the obstacles that you face in wholesaling when it comes to selling deals, okay? So I promise, if you stick in with me here to the end, we're going to share with you what this FYBF method is, where you can find the best buyers, and how you can move your deals very, very quickly and never struggle to find buyers ever again. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the FYBF method. So what is the FYBF method, right? So the FYBF method means find your buyer first. Okay. Again, traditional wholesaling says you need to go out and find a good deal. And if you find a good deal, it'll sell itself. But most of that coaching is like way out of date. And it doesn't take into consideration what wholesaling actually is, right? Your income solely depends on wholesaling and finding a buyer, right? So if you can find a buyer, you can make money. If you can't find a buyer, you can't make money, right? So if your income mainly depends on finding buyers, wouldn't it make sense to find your buyer first? Right? You find your buyer first, you find out what they want, and then from there, you go out and find what they want and bring it to them. When you do that, wholesaling becomes so much easier, okay? So what I'd like to do here, and I'm seeing the comments start to roll in. Kip, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. So let's go ahead and dive into the critical mistakes that cause most real estate wholesalers to fail and how to avoid them for success. Okay. So again, one of the critical mistakes that we talked about is for wholesalers is not having their buyer first. They're out there finding these sellers and they're finding sellers and they're putting deals under contract without even having a buyer or knowing if they can sell the deal. And then they put all this time, energy, and effort into it and they can't sell the deal. Then they, get discouraged, hang their head, and they try to find that internal motivation to go out and get that next deal. But the problem is by going about wholesaling that way, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot before you even start, right? So I don't know if any of you can relate to this or how many of you have gone through this, have gone through all the time, energy, and effort of finding a deal. You finally put that thing in contract in place with the seller, and then shoot, you couldn't sell the deal. Anybody experience that? That should be everybody when you're first getting started. Go ahead and drop a comment if you've experienced that and how painful that is when that happens, right? I've been there myself. When I first started, I didn't find my buyer first. And because of that, I dropped several deals in the beginning until I learned one thing that we're going to be going over here later on in the broadcast. So that being said, if you want to know the secret to making money in real estate wholesaling, having reliable buyers lined up and ready to go is critical to your success, okay? Critical to your success. So you want to make sure that you have buyers lined up and ready to go, because in wholesaling, again, you can go out and find deals, but if you can't sell them, what the heck does it make sense putting all that energy and effort, negotiating with sellers and all that, find these properties if you actually can't sell the deals, right? So you really want to make sure that you have your buyer in place first. Very, very important, okay? So let me ask you, some of you guys might be saying, well, Chris, I get it. I got to find my buyer first. How do I find my buyer first? Like, where do I go to find buyers, right? This is one of the biggest questions that I get. And I promise you guys here, I'm going to really simplify this for you. So you're going to be able to go and watch this live and then go out and find buyers for your next deal very easily, okay? So if you want to know the secret to making money in real estate wholesaling, again, it's having reliable buyers lined up and ready to go. So, but first, in order for you to have buyers lined up and ready to go, before we get into specific strategies on how to do it, something really, really, really important that you guys have to understand is you have to change your thinking. Okay. See, a lot of people come to me and they tell me, Chris, I can't find buyers for my deals. I can't find buyers for my deals. I can't find buyers for my deals. And it's not that they can't. Okay. That I want to make this very, very clear. This point very clear. It's not that you can't find buyers. You just don't know how. Right. And you're just not thinking in the right way to be able to know exactly where you need to get your next buyer for your deal. Right. So that being said, I want to challenge you all here to change your thinking. Before I get to this next point here, let me check the comments here. Go ahead and comment where you're watching from. Again, I love to see that. And again, I thrive off engagement, guys. The more engaged you all are, the more I give. So if you want the good stuff, right? You got to engage. So, all right. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to think like a fisherman. All right. So what does a fisherman do? A good fisherman, right? Like a professional fisherman that has a boat and they take charters out and they go to find, they take people out to fish, right? People hire them because they know exactly where to fish, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think like a fisherman. Just like a smart fisherman knows exactly where the fish are biting, you have to learn where to cast your line to reel in those buyers. Now, some of you might be thinking, Chris, what the heck are you talking about? Fishing line, casting lines. I just want to find buyers and add buyers for my deals. Right. But here's the thing. There's a lot of different ponds out there, okay, that you can fish in. What I mean is places where you can find buyers, okay? The buyers are the fish. But the key is knowing the ponds that spend the most of your time, okay? Because if you can spend the most of your time in the right ponds, you will never have a problem getting buyers for deals ever again. Promise, right? So let's see what the comments here. Sacramento this week, looking at some properties. Bam, love that. Sacramento, California. Very cool. I used to go to, quick sidebar, I used to go to San Diego a lot. I used to go to San Diego once a year. I love it. Beautiful weather. I hate how California is run, not getting political or anything like that, but I love the weather there. It's amazing. Great place to visit. Visiting family, good stuff. Love that. Love that. Fantastic. Okay, great. So guys, real quick, is this resonating with y'all, with you at all, as far as like how to find buyers, just like how to change your thinking so you can know where the buyers are hanging out, right? Again, you got to know where the buyers are biting. So from there, if you can understand where the buyers are biting, you'll know where to cast your net so you can get buyers for your deals. Okay. So let's dive into this. So the very first pond that I like to go to find buyers, okay, and this is free. This is a free resource that you guys can use to find buyers for your deals, is Facebook groups, right? Much like the group that you guys are in here in Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple, a bunch of people all getting together that love to learn about virtual wholesaling, how to do deals, right? You want to go ahead and focus on the same thing. Boom. You want to focus on the same thing when it comes to finding buyers, okay? So buyers are all hanging out in groups together. They're in the groups that are the local real estate investment groups on Facebook, and you can find them in your area by going to Facebook and typing in, give an example. If you're in Sacramento, California, Sacramento real estate investors, right? If you're in Tampa Bay, Florida, Tampa Bay real estate investors, right? It's all groups around real estate investors. Now, inside those real estate investor groups, you're going to have a variety of types of people, right? You're going to have realtors. You're going to have wholesalers. You're going to have cash buyers, okay? You're going to have flippers, landlords. You're going to have wholesalers in there, okay? So there's going to be a lot of different types of people in there. Now, this is a good thing, okay? Very good thing, and it's actually something that most people miss. So some people think working with realtors and wholesalers is a big waste of time if you're a wholesaler trying to sell deals, but the fact is that, boom, the fact is that it's not. It's actually the opposite, right? Wholesalers and realtors can be amazing contacts for you to work with to get your deals sold. So what I recommend doing is I recommend focusing on the local groups first, okay? So building connections in the local groups, okay? And then from there, going statewide, right? Because in the statewide groups, you have buyers that are buying in your area. So let's say you're in Florida, right? And you want buyers in Tampa Bay, Florida. Well, guess what? The best buyers are going to come from the local Tampa Bay groups, right? That are local to you. And then the second best place for buyers when it comes to Facebook groups is branching out to those nationwide groups. And you could just drop a post in there. Hey, any buyers looking to buy investment properties in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, comment your email below and we'll be in touch, right? Or shoot me a DM and we'll be in touch, right? If you do it like that, you're going to fish in that pond. That's a much larger pond. So I like to think of the nationwide groups as an ocean, right? So the nationwide groups are an ocean. And so what you want to do is you want to drop your bait in there, which is that you're looking for investors who want to buy investment properties in the Tampa Bay area, wherever you're located, right? And you want to pull those local buyers out of those nationwide groups, right? So when you're doing that, you're putting the right bait there. You're speaking specifically to a certain type of buyer. You're pulling them out of that group and you're building a connection and relationship with them and getting them added to your list, right? So that's how you do it for the nationwide groups. Now, for the local groups, join all the local groups around your area. Now, the local groups are going to be key for you to being able to move your deals quickly. So for those, they're all looking for investment properties in that group. So the chances are, if you find a post in that group where someone posted a wholesale deal, there's people that commented underneath it, and those people are going to be looking for investment properties in the area. And all you have to find out is, are they a cash buyer, wholesaler, or realtor? Right? If they're a cash buyer, wholesaler, or realtor, you can work with all three of them, but it's important to know what they are so you'll know how to work with each one as you get deals. Okay. Now, the cool thing is you can see the most common repeating zip codes that properties are being posted in the group, right? And the properties that are getting the most traction. And you can take those zip codes down and say, this is where I'm going to start finding deals, because I know using the FYBF method, buyers are looking in this area. These types of posts get lots of traction, right? You can even ask the buyers, the wholesalers and realtors that you connect with in those groups, asking them, hey, where are you looking for deals right now? What places should I avoid? Especially, this is important, guys, if you are wholesaling houses from home. If you're doing this virtually and you're going into an area that you don't understand or an area you don't know, this local information can be key for you to be able to sell your deals very quickly and making sure you're not marketing in the wrong areas. Okay, so super super important. Now, there's some advanced strategies that you can do to layer on top of that to get really specific as far as the best zip codes. I share that with my private coaching clients, but this can get you off to a fast start, what I'm sharing with you here today, right? This will get you off to a start where you can do this right now. You can leave this call after it's finished because I have some really good stuff here for you toward the end. And then you can go ahead and put this in place and start finding buyers for your deals. My coaching clients that I work with, they do not struggle to find buyers for their deals because they understand the FYBF method. When you understand the FYBF method, you don't drop deals anymore, right? Now, sure, you may pick up an oddball every now and then where you think it could sell for X, Y, and Z price. Turns out it can't, and there's no deal to be made with the seller. It's just some things, came up that were unexpected, and you have to part ways with it. That's going to be fine. It's going to happen, right? Par for the course. But the majority of the time, guys, if you follow this method, boom, what's happening? If you follow this method, you will find buyers for your deals. Okay, love it. It's going good. Even better that you're here. So love seeing you on here. Go ahead and comment where you're watching from. I'd love to see again where people are watching from. So guys, do not discount Facebook groups. There's a lot of gurus out there that say Facebook groups are terrible finding buyers. They're not real buyers, and they're all fake, and they're all commenting like they're a wholesaler. Well, ignore that, guys. Totally ignore it. They don't know how to use Facebook groups the right way, and that's the reason why they're telling you they're garbage. But I'm telling you, when you're first starting out, using Facebook groups to find buyers and where they're buying and all that, one of the most valuable things you can do, and it's free, okay? You don't need these crazy softwares when you're first starting. I talked to this guy the other day, brand new, just getting started within his first year, hasn't done a deal, but he's paying $5,000 a month for this software that he can sell deals. I'm like, brother, that is insane. You don't need to do that. Like, put that into marketing, put that into coaching, whatever, right? To get you to your next deal quickly. But you don't need all these crazy softwares and stuff to be able to find buyers. Like, you can find buyers for your deals for free. Now, there are certain sources that you're going to want to use that can make things a little bit easier. And again, I'm not knocking those other softwares that are out there. There's a time and a place for that, but not within your first 2 or 3 years in wholesaling, right? Definitely not within your first 2 or 3 years. You know, we move deals consistently every single day, and we don't have any of those softwares still, right? And our top month, we have like 22 properties under contract. So if it works for us, it can work for you too. So focus local, then statewide. So there's a lot of people that get started in virtual wholesaling, and they're like, Chris, I'm going to do nationwide. This is what this XYZ guru said. I should wholesale houses nationwide. So I do not recommend wholesaling houses nationwide when you're first getting started, because I recommend picking specific territories, okay? And if you're in the Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple group, I show a very simple 2-step method that you can use to identify the hottest territories across the United States. So that way you can pick one territory, go deep in that territory, and then when you've maxed that out, I even show you what that looks like, and then you can move on to the next one. But the big mistake too that a lot of people make when they're first starting virtual wholesaling is they're trying to grow a buyers list nationwide. You don't want to do that, right? It's you're casting too large of a net, right? You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? If you haven't done your first deal yet, focusing nationwide is a big mistake because it's going to take you forever to build a cash buyers list. You're going to be constantly hopping to all these different areas, not knowing any of them well, and you're going to wonder why you're not getting the traction that you really desire, right? And it's because, again, you're casting too large of a net. So don't wholesale houses nationwide when you're first getting started. You want to focus on one territory, crush that territory, okay? It doesn't matter if it's an hour from where you live, doesn't matter if it's 10 hours, doesn't matter if it's 10 states away across the country. It does not matter where it is, but you want to focus on one territory, learn that territory really well, and then from there branch out, okay? So really, really important. So what I'm gonna share with you guys next here is my top sources for selling deals and growing my cash buyers list. Okay, so this is really important. So we're getting to the meat and the potatoes here on how to grow a massive cash buyers list. I'm going to be going to each strategy here in detail. So if you're watching here, you want to continue watching because I have some really, really good stuff for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, where to do it, so you can have actionable steps you can leave here again and do deals. All right. So these are the top sources that I found. Okay. So top source number 1, again, is Facebook groups. This is a great source for finding deals. Again, we have wholesalers, cash buyers, and realtors in this group, all great connections that you want to build connections with, have conversations. And remember, guys, I want you to remember this key term, social, right? Facebook is social media. So you have to be social. You have to reach out to people, spark conversations, right? Don't be a weirdo. hiding behind a computer and, being all strange when you're reaching out to these people. Okay. They're just like me and you. Just have a conversation. Say, hey, I saw you commented on a deal recently in the Tampa Bay Real Estate Investors Group. Was that a one-off purchase you were looking to make, or are you looking to buy more? Right. So, or you could just say, hey, I saw your comments on a post in the Real Estate Investors Group and want to see if you're still actively buying in the area. That's easy. Stick with what's easy, guys. Okay. So, and they're going to say yes or no, right? If they say yes, fantastic. Tell me more about that. Where are you looking to buy? Get into conversations with people, right? Have a conversation. Pretend these people are a best friend that you haven't talked to in a very long time, and you're catching up with them, right? That's exactly what you need to picture with these people you're talking to, because you want to make sure you build strong connections with people. Because I'll tell you what, guys, most wholesalers are selfish, right? And it crushes their business model. And I'll share with you why. There's a lot of wholesalers out there that never communicate with their buyers. They never catch up with them. They don't wish them happy birthday on their birthday. They don't, reach out. How's the family? They don't catch up with them at all. Yet they expect them to open their emails every single time they send out a deal, or they expect them to give them a call about every deal they're sending out. How selfish is that, right? Like, you could care less about what's going on in that dude's life, right? But as long as he's buying deals from you, that you're good, right? So don't operate your business like that, guys. This is a people business. And what you want to understand is, as a wholesaler, you're providing a very valuable service for cash buyers, right? Cash buyers are putting food on their table for their family with the deals they're buying from you. Okay, so that's really important. You need to understand that. And you got to care about your buyers. And again, have conversations and build those deep relationships. I can tell you guys, as a result of me building relationships with buyers in the industry, people will pay me a minimum of $10,000 more for a deal than they would someone brand new, or if any of you went up to the same buyer, right? So I have wholesalers that come to me all the time that want a JV, and they're like, well, Chris, I don't know if I want to split 50-50. And I'm like, hey, listen, if you do have one of my buyers on your list, I guarantee you'll make more money joint venturing, splitting 50-50 with me than you will selling the deal on your own, because these guys, I built relationships with them over time. They'll pay me more money. He'll come to you and tell you 160. He'll tell me 170, 175, right? Because he knows that a new relationship, he can kind of beat him down a little bit. But one he's had for a long time, he knows he's going to get volume off that. And they're just excited to work with you. And so I didn't build these relationships overnight. This took time. And I want you guys to think of the long game when you're doing this. And that's something that can really help you there. Okay, so Facebook groups, we've already dove into that. Let's talk about the next best way to find great cash buyers for your deals. So the next best way, guys, is recent sales. Properties that were sold within the last 90 days that the buyer closed on them with cash. So where can you find these deals? You can find them on a service like PropStream. And by the way, if you go to getpropstreamnow.com, you can go there, and there's literally a tab called cash buyers. It's a filter that you can go to where you can type in the zip code where you're looking to find cash buyers. Okay, you can hit the zip code. You can click cash buyers, set a date range, and it'll pull the last 90 days worth of cash buyers that bought in your area. And all you got to do is either get phone numbers for them inside of PropStream, or you can look up the contact through a free online search called truepeoplesearch.com, get their phone number and call them. Say, hey, I recently saw that you purchased a property off 123 Main Street in Tampa. Was that a one-off purchase for you, or you're looking to buy more? He's going to say, no, I'm looking to buy more. Great. Well, we have some deals coming here in that area, and would love to get an idea of where you're looking to buy these properties. Do you have any specific zip codes you're focusing on? Any areas you want me to stay away from? I want to make sure I bring you the hottest deals, right? And so at that point, what's going to happen is they're going to give you lots of intel, guys, and then they can give you the best phone number and email to add them to your list. So that's, again, a great way to find buyers. And this is also a great way to find buyers when you have a deal under contract already. So let's say you have a deal under contract already. You didn't do the FYBF method, but that's okay. You got a deal under contract and you need to find a buyer really quickly. So this is a great source to be able to do that, because again, if they bought a deal in the last 90 days, chances are they are looking to buy more, and chances are they'd be looking to buy in your area. If you have a deal in 33615 and you put 33615 cash buyers last 90 days, you're going to see a list of people who bought there who are going to be great potential buyers for your deal. So huge. This is one of the biggest things. And a lot of people avoid doing this. They don't do this because it takes a little bit more hoops to jump through, right? But it's very simple and you can find amazing deals for your buyers this way. So that's how you go ahead and find buyers when it comes to recent sales. Okay. So recent sales is my second favorite place to look for buyers for my deals. Now, let's talk about the third favorite source of buyers for my deals, right? This is realtors. I love working with local realtors who have buyers for wholesale deals, right? So where do you find realtors? Guess what? You can go to realtors.com. You can find realtors there. You can go into one of my personal favorites is you can go into PropStream, and there is a filter called Flipper Agents. Okay, and this is agents that have brought buyers for investment properties, and it actually has the agent's name and phone number in there. You don't have to pay for it; it's just extra. It comes in there. You can go in there. You can get that phone number, call them, and see if they're, see if they have cash buyers looking to buy investment properties in the area that yours is in or the area that you're thinking about getting started. You can also talk to that agent again about the best zip codes in the area, what places should you avoid, where are their buyers buying the most properties, right? Build relationships. You can instantly find that on there and get in touch with agents. Realtors can be great. All I do is I tell realtors, hey, if you want to bring a buyer for my deal, just add your fee on top. For example, if I'm selling a deal for $155, add $5K on top if that's what you want to make, and bring it to your buyer for $160, right? And at the end, you can put together paperwork to make sure everyone gets paid the right way. So realtors are a great source of buyers. And again, realtors can also find buyers for properties that you would never come across. I have several realtors that I work with that have buyers they brought for my deals that lived out of the country, right? So these are buyers I'd never meet in my entire life, but they're out of the country and they're buying my deals. And guess what, guys? They pay more for them than anybody else. Why? Number one, they're going through a realtor, because anyone that goes through a buyer goes through a realtor pays top dollar for deals. The second thing is, they may be buying for a different reason. So wholesalers, they make a lot of assumptions, right? They put out deals saying, oh, buyers need to have $50,000 in there they need to make for their profit, or they need to have, I need to leave 20% in there for a buyer. So that way the deal's attracted to him. I need to sell the deal at 68% or 70% of market value. All these things, we make all these assumptions, but guess what? That buyer out of the country, maybe he just wants to buy the house for a tax shelter. Maybe he's not going to, renovate the property. Maybe he just wants to buy it and just hold it, right? And maybe have it be a place where he can come when he comes back into the country and he can hang out there for a little bit, right? So keep in mind, buyers buy for different reasons, and realtors can bring excellent buyers for your deals. Let's talk about another type of resource for selling your deals quickly. Wholesalers, other wholesalers, right? Shout out from Indiana. Boom, what's happened? I love Indiana. So other wholesalers can be great resources for bringing buyers for your deals. So when I first started, guys, guess what? I got tired of dropping deals. And so instead of fixing my mat here, I got tired of dropping deals. So because I got tired of dropping deals, I was getting towards the end of my rope. And then I had this guy reach out to me through my marketing. He was one of the largest wholesalers in our area at the time, had a massive cash buyers list, huge, right? And this guy basically came to me and said, Chris, I'll tell you what, you're putting out some great deals. What if I could bring buyers for every single deal that you have, right? So you could get every one of them sold, right? And at the end of the day, we just split profits 50-50. I was like, okay. So, I haven't done my first deal yet. And this guy wants to do this, and I can guarantee I can get some deals going. I can make some money and prove this works and keep going, right? I was like, let's do it, right? And so I did that for my first year and a half in the business, okay? I JV deals for a year and a half. And guess what? That gave me the permission and the confidence that this works, that I can do this just like anybody else could do it. And guess what? Because of that confidence, that gave us the confidence to continue to grow our business, and we grew our business to over 7 figures, right? But had we not had that relationship, I'm forever grateful for that relationship. Had we not had the relationship, we probably wouldn't have, gotten that far. Maybe we would have quit, who knows, right? But at the end of the day, it's so important to keep traction going. So if you're just getting started, All right. And you don't have a huge buyers list. That's okay. Build your buyers list every single day. And we're going to share with you here how to do that in a minute, and what that looks like and how much time you should put in. But make sure that you're networking with other wholesalers, because if another wholesaler has a huge, strong list of buyers, leverage his buyers to get your deal sold, right? That's a huge thing you can do in the beginning, to make sure you drop less deals. Now, there are some wholesalers out there who are a little greedy and they're like, I don't want to give away 50%, but they haven't closed their first deal yet, right? I've seen that so many times. And they sit there and they just drop deals when they could have just had someone else help them sell it, right? And get it done. Keep in mind, guys, 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. That's a really big thing. And what you got to keep in mind when you're first getting started, it's all about just getting your first deal done, right? Because when you get that first deal done, the second deal comes almost right after it. It's kind of funny how that works. The first deal is always the hardest to do. We'll cover that in another live stream. But after you get your first deal done, the second deal is so much easier, and then the third one comes right away because you've been building your pipeline all along. So, so again, other wholesalers are fantastic for finding deals, and you can find them in Facebook groups just like you can local realtors. All right, landlords, guys. Landlords are great buyers of deals, okay? Because landlords don't need the margins in the deal that a flipper needs, right? And so you have someone that buys a lot of properties, okay? These are also known as absentee owners. So these are people that buy properties cash. They want to grow a portfolio of investment properties that can bring them income so they can retire one day and they don't have to keep working for their money, right? And so landlords are great people to have on your buyers list because, again, they can pay more than most other buyers because they're looking at the long term. They're not looking at the short term. And flippers look at making money short term. Flippers and wholesalers, it's all about short term. Landlords are looking at the long term. So they're willing to pay more now because they understand they're going to make their money over time, right? So a great resource for you guys to find landlord buyers, again, is PropStream. PropStream is great. You can go to getpropstreamnow.com. Another great resource for landlords is the for rent listings on Zillow. So for rent by owner, you can go on there and find that. There's another site called affordablehousing.gov. You can go there and find landlord buyers that have properties for rent, and you can give them a call through the number on the site and see if they'd like to be added to your buyers list and, get more properties so they can grow their portfolio, right? So those are great sources. So landlord buyers are fantastic resources to have on your buyers list. Highly recommend that, okay? And once you have landlord buyers on your list, you're going to notice that you're going to come across properties that have tenants in them or renters in them, and they're going to be your buyers for those deals. So it's really important to have those guys on your list because a flipper doesn't want to have, tenants in a property. He wants to get them out, right? And he wants to start renovating the property. A landlord buyer will buy the property with the tenants so you can close when some people would also when other people would walk away from those deals. Kip said, tired landlords are also a great source for investors. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like tired landlords as sellers, actually. Tired landlords are great sellers because they're done. They've been doing this for a long time, and they're at the point where they just want to cash out and sit on a beach somewhere and relax. So I love tired landlords for sellers. Those are excellent, but I could see how they could be buyers too. Not all of them are. Just because people have owned rentals for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that they're done with them. There's people that I know for a long time that have owned rentals for over 20 years and they still want to keep buying. So they can be a great source of buyers too, but don't overlook those for sellers. Okay. So let's talk about the final part of the call here today, guys. And that's mastering the rule of 5. So I promise you that if you master the rule of 5, then you will never struggle to sell another deal ever again. Okay, so master the rule of 5. So if you can do this, you'll never struggle to sell another deal again. You guys want to know what the rule of 5 is? Go ahead and comment yes if you want to know the rule of 5, and then I'll dive into it because this is huge, guys. It's so simple, but it's huge. So comment yes, and I'll definitely get into the rule of 5. I want to make sure you guys are still alive out there. See, we've got a lot of people on the stream, but I want to make sure you guys are still alive. Yes, boom, love it. Cool. All right. So I'm seeing those yeses start to pour in. Fantastic. Good stuff. All right. So let's talk about the rule of 5. So the rule of 5 is this. If you can add 5 contacts to your cash buyers list every single day, you will keep drop deals away. All right. So 5 contacts your cash buyers list every single day. Now, a lot of people miss the mark here. Okay. So, and we're going to talk about how long you should spend doing this each day too. So you'll have a crystal clear idea of what that looks like when you leave here today. It's my promise and my gift to you guys. So most people only focus on cash buyers. Big mistake, right? Your list is going to be very small. If you talk to some of the largest wholesalers in the country, right? A lot of them are my friends. What you'll find if you ask them about who they have on their cash buyers list, they're going to tell you they have a number of different types of contacts. They don't just have cash buyers. See, when I first got started, I kept my list really small because all I was focusing on was adding cash buyers to my list. I had great cash buyers, right? But I moved very few deals, right? So when I learned this one thing, this one switch that I flipped in my mind, I started to sell a ton of deals, okay? And selling deals no longer became an issue. So, and that is, you need 3 types of contacts on your cash buyers list. You need realtors, cash buyers, and wholesalers. Realtors can get more eyeballs on your deals. Cash buyers are going to be your buyers. Realtors can also bring great buyers. And then wholesalers you're leveraging their network to be able to get buyers that you could never come across that you just don't have on your list yet, right? So if you can add, 5 contacts a day to your cash buyers list and have it be a combination of one of those 3 types of people, either they're a realtor, cash buyer, wholesaler, or a combination of the 3, then I promise you're going to sell more deals. All right. So rule of 5, do this every single day. So what I recommend doing here too, boom, yes, love the yeses coming through. So what I recommend here too, guys, is that you spend an hour a day. Okay. So we have a course called the 60-minute cash buyer blueprint. I give it to all my coaching clients. And in that, what it shows you how to do is add 5 people a day to your cash buyers list in just an hour a day. And if you can do that, think about the power of this, right? If you had 5 people every single day to your cash buyer list, in 30 days, you are going to have 150 people on your list, going from 0 to 150 people. And that's only if you spend an hour a day. And that's assuming you only add 5 people a day to your list. Okay. Where are you going to get those buyers? You're going to get them from Facebook groups. You're going to get them from recent sales. You're going to get them from realtors. You're going to get them from other wholesalers, and you're going to get them from landlords. All right. So again, if you can master this rule of 5, you'll never struggle to sell another deal again. I have a saying, 5 a day keeps drop deals away. Right. So focus on that rule of 5, do it an hour every single day. And I promise you're going to see your cash buyers list explode over time. And you're going to love the fact that you're not going to struggle to sell deals anymore, right? So, because what I've learned is, every deal will sell at the right price. And if your deals are not selling, it just means either one of 2 things. Either you got the numbers wrong, which can happen, right? Or you don't have enough buyers on your list, right? So always be growing this every single day. I know people that spend $10,000 a month getting seller leads brought in their business every single month, right? But they spend $0 a month and 0 time building a cash buyers list. I'm like, that's a recipe to fail, right? You're spending all this money on these deals, but you're not able to sell them. That could end very badly, right? So what I recommend doing is finding your buyer first, going back to our FYBF method, right? You find your buyer first, you find out what those buyers want, you get them on your list, and then you go out and find what they want and bring it to them. When you do that, wholesaling just becomes much easier. You're not racing the clock there in your 15-day inspection period. You're not stressing if you're going to be able to sell the deal. You are being able to put deals on a contract confidently because you have the right contacts and relationships to get the deal done, right? How much more peace could you guys have wholesaling if you knew you could sell all the deals that you get under contract? A lot more, right? How much better would it be, or how much better would it make you feel if you knew all the right areas that you could put deals under contract and know they're going to sell, and you're not wondering if it's a good area or a bad area, right? This can be done by finding your buyer first, getting them on your list, getting crystal clear on what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, and then you go out, find what they're looking for, and you bring it to them, right? So if you master that rule of 5, I promise you guys, you will not struggle to sell deals. So let's talk about next steps here, guys. Okay. So if there's people on the call right here, okay, that you are struggling to find cash buyers or grow your cash buyers list, heck, you're even struggling to do your first deal, right? And you'd like to get the results that we're getting and our coaching clients are getting, what I recommend is going to virtualwholesalingmadesimple.com, and you can apply to work with me one-on-one. And from there, you're going to have a form where you'll fill out the form, and I want you to be detailed in your responses because I only have limited capacity. I can't take on everybody. And if I like what you have to say, I'll consider bringing you on as a client. So go there now, apply, and I'd love to connect with you this week to see if coaching is a good fit. But in the meantime, guys, what I'd like to do is I'd also like to answer some questions. If anybody has any questions about what we talked about today, right? Anybody have any questions about what we talked about today? Maybe you have an obstacle that you're facing in your business when it comes to cash buyers, and I'd love to be able to answer that for you while we're on the call. We only have a few more minutes. I got to get running here in a minute. But if you have questions, I can answer them. But if not, that's totally good too. We can end the call here, and we'll move on. So go ahead and let me know if you guys have any questions, and that way I will. I'll go ahead and answer those before we hop off here for the week. Okay. Let's see. Any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right, guys. We are done for today. So thank you all for joining us on the live here today. I hope that this session provided you guys with value that you can go ahead and use and implement right today and start seeing results. That's what I try to do in every one of these calls. Oh, good. So Kip asked a question here. Investor Lift, what are your thoughts? So I think it's a great software at the right time in your business, but it's not a great software at the wrong time in your business, if that makes sense. It really depends. So where I feel Investor Lift really helps is if you're doing 5 or more deals a month consistently, and you want to scale up to doing more than that, and you're struggling to sell some of your deals, right? So at that point, that's when I'd recommend getting it. I think it's way overkill in the very beginning because I think it's like $5K a month or something like that. And when you're first getting started, like, I'll give you an example. Okay. So if you, just because you put on Tom Brady's football uniform, right, doesn't make you Tom Brady. So there's a time and a place for it, right? So once you're at a point, yeah, no problem. So once you're at a point in your business where you're doing a large number of deals and you're looking to scale nationwide, Investor Lift can be a phenomenal option for you. The guy, I don't know him personally, but I've seen a lot of content by the creator, Robert Wensley, and it seems like a really knowledgeable dude. I know where he came from. I think he was actually doing dispositions for a company that I know up north in Maryland. And the guy knows what he's talking about. He's very big on data, but I just feel at the wrong time in your business, it could be a very bad move, because if you're not doing deals consistently, repeatedly every month, and you're not doing at least 5 a month, you got to do that in my mind to justify the cost. And I know if you sell one deal, sure. But here's the thing. You can use the methods I've shared with you today to build your business to that point where you're doing 5 to 10 deals a month, right? And then from there, if you want to grow past that and you want to scale nationwide, that's when you should look at a tool like that. But it's not for brand new wholesalers. It's not for people starting within their first 2 or even 3 years, in my personal opinion, unless you have a lightning fast start where you do $1 million maybe in your second year or something like that, right? So, but I would stay focused, guys. Take the methods that I've shared with you today, implement them, and I promise you, like, you'll sell your deals, right? And then in the beginning too, networking with other wholesalers like myself. If you have deals in the area that we're moving deals in, bring your deals to us. We'll help you get them sold. Typically, I only do that with my coaching clients, but I do open that up for some of the people in the Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple group. So if you are in that group and you have deals you want to sell and you'd like to joint venture on them, let me know. Just shoot me a DM, and I'd love to have a conversation with you to see if it's a good fit. Again, but outside of that, if you are looking for coaching to take things to the next level, virtualwholesalingmadesimple.com, we can have a conversation. Any last questions? That's a great question. Great question, Kip. Nope. Fantastic, guys. All right. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of the day here. Networking is key. Boom. Absolutely. Hope you have a great rest of your day today, guys, and you enjoyed today's session. Let's connect on Facebook or social media, and I look forward to connecting to you guys next week. I'll talk soon.